Yeah. Stop. That's terrible. What are you doing?
ASMR.
That is not.
The air conditioning's going back here. All sorts of things are happening. I think we're just going to let it get it out of our system.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the clapper at some point and get things going.
Yeah.
I've never been like, I wish you were a boy. I've just never thought that, because I knew from the time I was little that I was going to have a daughter. I didn't know I'd have to buy her. But that's all right.
I'm just expensive like that.
You are incredibly expensive. Exorbitantly.
That's why I have a job.
Yeah, it's good that you have a job. What else do you do?
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Job, Jesus, jiu-jitsu. That's maybe not in that order. Probably Jesus first.
Yeah.
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 So, so there's always a period. We're going now, by the way. This is it.
Oh, great.
I'm
okay.
Tired of your shenanigans. We're getting down to it. There's always a period when there's a transition, and I've talked about it before on the show, where you're just hanging out like we did, outside. We went and hung out with the dogs, and we've been chilling down here or whatever. And then when the light comes on the camera and the red numbers start ticking and like it's official now, it turns into like an interview. You're like, the guest sits up and they just talk different. Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
Okay.
You're not so far. You've just been goofy this entire time, and that's okay. But it's funny how they do. I can think of a couple of people, like PJ was one of them. PJ's no different, whether the camera's on or not. He's just PJ all the time. But you know PJ well enough to know that that's just how that would go.
Yeah.
But, are you clamming up now that you know it's real? Like
Yeah.
Thousands of people are going to see this?
Thousands.
Thousands.
That's crazy.
Millions? Probably not millions.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. We'll get there if we just keep putting out awesome content like this.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's your name?
Ayla.
Ayla. And who are you? Besides, you're my stepdaughter.
Daughter.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. I've always said we don't love in like halves and steps and things like that. But my daughter, as it were, who I'm very proud of, even though you're a complete and total weirdo. So you're watching right now, you can see yourself on this video screen right here, the monitor, as it were. But there's also going to be people that listen to this that's just audio only. Mm-hmm. So when I talk, you're going to have to like say words
actually talk back.
Instead of shaking your head or whatever, or giving me finger hearts like you did a second ago. But it's all good. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about jiu-jitsu. You got into jiu-jitsu how?
I did wrestling at Model Middle School, and then we went homeschool for COVID, and I really liked wrestling, so I needed something that was similar to that, and we found jiu-jitsu, and y'all made me go, because I did not want to go at first.
Isn't that funny how that works out? Like, you didn't want to go at all. You even want to know. You weren't even in town, I don't think. You weren't with us when we went and signed you up. I was in
Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. We signed you up, and you got back, and you were like, "You're doing jiu-jitsu now," and you were so
I was very
angry.
upset.
What was it? How did you get? I mean, I get it. You didn't want to be homeschooled anyway.
No,
it's not your idea. What was that process like for you?
It was kind of like. Hold on, I'm thinking.
That's all right.
I did not like it at first because I was like, it's going to be awful. I'll be stuck in the house all day.
Pull up a little closer to the mic.
And with COVID, I have to actually talk. It's crazy. With COVID, we couldn't leave the house a lot. But now that we can leave the house, homeschool has been like awesome because I actually get to, I have a job and I do jiu-jitsu and I go to the gym a lot, which a lot of kids my age, like all they will do is school, homework, and then their job, and they don't have like time for anything else other than those three things.
Yeah. So yeah, we started homeschooling at a terrible time because now your mom does the homeschooling. They go to museums like multiple times a week. They take a class at the zoo on animals and anatomy and whatever it is they do there. They're going on a camping trip this week with a bunch of other homeschool kids and moms. And
I'm going to.
You're going to. But we couldn't do any of those things during COVID. So it really was just me and you and your brother at the kitchen table. You're like, hey, this is homeschool. Not because that's what was best, but because that's what was available. Yeah. But it's a little different now. And it grew on you?
Yeah. I definitely hated it at first. I did not like it. I was like, I hate y'all. I hate this. I was very turd, very brat, giving very turd and brat. But like now that we're doing it, and I've kind of grown up and like matured just a little bit up here, just a little bit up here. I just look at it different because I don't have to be stuck in school from 7 to 3. And that frees up a lot of opportunities that other kids don't get.
Yeah. What kind of opportunities are you looking at?
Right now, shout out Randy Roden from his gym is in
So's Martial Arts.
So's Martial Arts. He's gonna let me come teach a ladies class at his gym sometime. I just got that opportunity. What was it? Thursday night this week.
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
It'll be longer by the time this gets out, but yeah, just a few days ago.
So that opportunity, I've already taught my first women's class at G1 Martial Arts in Dalton, so that was pretty cool. Hold on. My hair's it's moving.
It's tough wearing headphones with all that hair.
It is very hard. Let's see. I get to teach kids classes, not teach them, but help out and get to meet all those people and make connections there.
Where?
At
what's the name of the place?
Emperor City Grappling.
Emperor City Grappling Club. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No, that's cool. But I mean, in terms of, I don't know, I guess most of that is like outside of school hours, so you might or might not have gotten to do that anyway. I don't know. I think you have progressed in jiu-jitsu because of the flexibility of your schedule, because you spend a lot of time doing jiu-jitsu, like one, but then you're also at the gym, like working out weights and conditioning and all that good stuff too.
Shout out YMCA.
YMCA, which is, I mean, but that's not an opportunity
other kids don't get.
Or, well, yeah, you would have had you booked up all those hours in school. And I guess had you stayed in school, maybe you could have wrestled, but at the same time,
had some issues with my joints.
Yeah.
So I don't know if wrestling would have been.
Well, how great is jiu-jitsu? We joint lock each other, and you know,
it's a little less explosive.
It's the game. Yeah, it is. It's a little different. But yeah, but you came around the homeschool thing, and
we did it.
Weaved jiu-jitsu into it, and you've grown up a bunch. It hasn't been easy.
Nope.
It wasn't always fun. You've been impossible at times. But
oops.
I don't know. But you have. It seems like you have sought out like avenues to unwind and to help yourself grow up. And not that you're grown up, because you're just not quite there yet.
Just 17.
Yeah, you got a ways to go. I got a way to go. I'm almost 30 years older than you, and haven't quite grown up yet either. But you've changed a lot. You changed a lot. Where do you give that credit to?
Give a lot of that credit to number 1, God.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, y'all, and my coaches, PJ Broom.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it to jiu-jitsu. Hold on, I'm articulating.
Well, let me help you, because watching you, I signed up. I was 42 when I started doing jiu-jitsu. You were 13, and you trained for a while in the kids' classes, and then you transitioned in the adult class.
Yeah.
So that was like the first place you intermingled with adults, like on a regular basis.
Yeah. So I guess going into the adults class, like doing adult per se things.
Yeah.
I got a job.
Yeah. So did you start jiu-jitsu or get your job first?
I think I started jiu-jitsu first.
Yeah, because you started training in October and you got your first job in like February.
Yeah. PJ commented on the post and was like, my girl's growing up
at
Sunflower.
Yeah,
because that's where I first worked.
Sunflower Bakery. So what's the job like? So you started working at 13, and you've got 4 years of work experience now at 17 years old. What's that been like?
Pretty solid. I think it helps with like work ethic because I've just kind of gotten to know positions. I'm working at Three Rivers Nutrition right now, which is a great place. Emma and Landon Raquel own it, and they are amazing people.
They're great folks.
They're great
We
folks.
actually filmed an episode in the shop one time at Three Rivers.
Okay, cool.
Me and Tango. Preston Christ was our guest that night. He's been on a couple times. But, yeah, and so I'm sorry.
But it's helped me kind of like, I've gotten better at cleaning from it. Like I know what to clean. I know how to clean. Cooking sometimes. Making conversations with people that just being friendly to strangers that come into the shop a lot of the time, and you have to be like, hey, how are you doing? And just stirring up a conversation with somebody that you may never see again, but you're trying to make an impact on that person.
Right.
So that's helped a lot. When I was at Sunflower or anywhere, obviously, sometimes you have customers that get a little rude, and dealing with those people in a way that is not like rude but confrontational, and being like, hey, you gotta chill out.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this. You can't disrespect me like that.
Yeah.
So that has been another thing too.
So you learn to use those words as opposed to demonstrating the anaconda choke in the in the lobby of the shake and tea shop. But that's cool. So it helps you grow up and mature there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's big. You're in this huge like transitional time in your life between you became a teenager and a month later you had a job.
Yeah.
If you think about it that way, and then on into like how much different are you now than you were at 13?
A ton.
Yeah.
How
so?
Ton. I still get frustrated and like overwhelmed a lot of the time, but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
I'm able to carry myself better. I'm a lot more confident. Let's see.
I know that I'm going to interrupt you. I know that you wouldn't have just made conversations with strangers.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Even just a couple years ago.
No.
Especially pleasant ones.
No, I worked in the back at Sunflower, so I didn't even talk to people. But now I'm working the front counter, and I talk to like 15 new people every day.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch if you think about it.
A bunch of folks that come in there, and it's different people every day too. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of regular customers that I'm sure come in there every day. And
we have like 10 regular customers every morning, and it's the coolest thing ever.
40 other rotating randos
every day.
But I mean, if you think about it, like let's compare these two things. So you make conversations with strangers behind the counter as you make their drink, right? You swap sweat with strangers on a jiu-jitsu mat, right, while you're trying to hurt each other.
Yep.
Never met this person before in your life, and the first interaction you have with them is violent. So which of those two things is harder?
Probably having a violent interaction
with
somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, especially if they're like brand new, because you don't know what they're like or how they're going to roll, if they're going to be careful with you or not. Now, most people are, but you always have the odd one.
Yeah, especially in the training room. But I mean, like in a tournament. Like you know anything about this person?
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
It doesn't. You don't have time to care.
No, you don't. I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that's what it boils down to. And that's what, I don't know, that's what people say about jiu-jitsu anyway, is that while you're there, you can't be thinking about other things. Like you just don't have a choice. Yeah. You have to think about this guy that's on your back and he's trying to strangle you.
You're surviving.
Yeah.
You're in that moment, like PJ talks about it. Shout out Peach. Love you. When you step on that mat, part of the reason I love competing is like you step on the mat and you know that you're the only one that's going to get you out of it. Yeah. Like it's just you versus you out there. Yeah. You're the only person that can pull you out of what you're about to get into right now.
Yeah. So we're talking about jiu-jitsu, but how does that apply to life?
Because you're going to find yourself in situations sometimes where you got to make decisions to figure out what's right morally or by judgment, whatever. And you're going to be the only person that can pull you out.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. Because, like, you think when you grow up, right now, I'm very lucky to have, like, you and PJ and a bunch of others that can help me.
Yeah.
But, you know, if once I'm off on my own, it's just going to be me.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get in a situation, who knows what, but sometimes things happen, and I'm going to be the only person to pull myself out of that. So that's a very important thing to me.
Yeah, it's a big deal, right? Problem-solving skills. I mean, learning how to operate under pressure.
Yeah.
Because there's not much greater pressure than somebody trying to strangle you or twist one of your arms off.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Yeah, but you got to be cool and go, well, if he's going to do this, I got to do that, and, you know, just to survive. But you're learning this stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. We're making it.
You're getting there. I don't know, we're just kind of going, and that's whatever. So whatever pops up, we'll just go. We started out with one thing, and then we went a different way, and now we're back again. But so what are your goals for jiu-jitsu?
Long term, I would like to either do seminars or own a gym coaching girls, because we don't have a lot of girls in our sport right now. Yeah. It's a very male-dominated sport.
Yeah.
So just to get more girls in there would be awesome. I don't have a single training partner at the gym I'm at or at gyms I've been at previously who have been my size that come consistently and are like competitors.
Right.
And are like down to like try to kill each other every practice.
Yeah.
So that's a hard thing to find. So getting girls in there, and then I'd like to compete a little bit and see how that goes short-term wise. But that's a very small goal compared to like big things.
Yeah. So I guess overall, long-term, more than anything else, you want to get more women involved in the sport?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, we were at a tournament this past weekend, and we'll talk some more about that. There were 1,500 competitors.
Yep.
And what were there, like 80 women? 100?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was, when you looked at the list of everybody that was signed up, the guys were like 7 pages, and there were like...
There was a bracket with like 75 guys.
Yeah, brackets had 30 guys, 50 guys, 70 guys. Yours had 9.
I had 11 in mine.
Were there 11? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want to say there was like 100 girls, 100 women.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. Out of all those competitors. But even if there were 300...
It's still really
there were
small.
still 1,200 guys, you know, as opposed to... And that's just what it is, you know, to some degree, because it's violent. It's a fight, you know, as far as that goes. And there aren't a ton of women that are going to sign up for that. But if they know that it's possible, like they think about
they might do it.
Yeah, I can't do that because it's like, yeah, but no, you can do it. It's, I don't know. I know a fat old guy that trains, and he doesn't die. So I'm not naming names, but it's me.
We've got I think we have a 55-year-old guy that trains with us.
Yeah,
at Emperor City.
People in their 50s, people in their 20s.
Yeah,
everybody
it's
in between.
for everybody.
Yeah,
I'm 17. I'm 5'1" and 130 pounds, and I go in there 2 times a day most of the time.
And just brawl with grown men.
Yeah, and you don't have to do that as a girl. It does make you tougher.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. If we get more girls, the girls that already train like that will now have the option to train with more girls.
Right.
And then those girls that just come in don't have to train with dudes all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's the only option you ever had, then that's one thing. But if you bring in a crowd of women at one time, like you don't have to train.
You don't have to train with dudes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'd still train with dudes.
Yeah, you still would, but it wouldn't be your only option.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So that said, if you're out there and you're thinking about trying jiu-jitsu and you're a female, bring a friend
with
you. Yeah, bring a friend with you. Yeah, come on up. Teach you how to do it.
For real.
Ayla will show you closed guard arm bars.
All day.
Yeah,
I love those things.
You're pretty good at them. I was looking at your smooth comp record the other day, and there's so many arm bars on there. But it
Like
is what
work.
it is. Yeah.
I'm joking. That sounded terrible.
Well, yeah, it does. But I mean, you have to have a level of confidence
Yeah.
to walk out on the mat and participate in that, right? And be like, you can't go out there and be like, well, I'm going to get killed.
Yeah, because then you're going to get killed.
Because you definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to feel like I'm better at being violent than the other person.
Yeah.
That's tough. It's not like football either, where you're like,
I'm just going to run into this dude.
well, that and there's 10 other guys out here, you know?
Yeah.
And if I mess up, somebody else will pick it up. Like, nah, you're it.
No, you're it.
Yeah.
Again, you versus you. And you're the only person getting you out of that situation.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. You're competing against yourself. You versus you. There's another person out there, but
they don't matter.
yeah.
I mean, whatever. But if you're so confident in yourself getting out there, then they really don't matter. I don't like to look. A lot of people before competitions like to look at their opponent.
Yeah.
I did that at this previous tournament because I was up a weight division.
Yeah.
But they like to look at their competitor and see like how many wins and whatnot. I don't like to do that because that's energy that you're wasting on something other than getting ready for the match and getting out there and doing your stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just wasted. PJ talks about that.
Yeah.
We went to Charlotte for that fight to win, and he talks about like a lot of people are worried about what they're gonna wear or blah blah blah. This
What
and
kind
that.
of dance they're gonna do? Yeah.
And that's taking energy from yourself about stuff that's you don't need to worry about. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I wear whatever rash guard is clean. That's the end of it.
Yeah. But there's no sense in bringing a bunch of other stuff in there with you.
Yeah.
What kind of Fortnite dance am I going to do when I win?
Yeah, that's like,
You know?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Does it get you popular? Sure, sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
but you got to win.
yeah.
If you're
you
gonna go-
suck, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're going to get murked out there, and then you're going to dance. Like, it didn't matter what dance you planned on doing. You get subbed in 4 seconds.
Yeah, then you just look really bad.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't know. It's been a big, like I've been able to watch you go through this, and I know what it's done for me, and I don't compete, but I see what it's done for you and how it's moved you through and helped you grow up a whole bunch. I got some secret hand signals going on.
yeah.
Washing out the corners of my eyes. But it's a big deal. It's been cool. It's been fun watching you kind of grow up through that process, not just in jiu-jitsu, but like in life as a whole. The first time you said, you were like, I want to get a job. And I was like, okay.
This kid, get a load of this guy.
I didn't think you had it in you at 13. I was like, well, maybe she'll grow up a little bit and try it again. And you went after it and never looked back. It's never been an issue since you, like, from day one. You're like, I got to have a job. I got to make some money.
Gotta have a job.
There are gis and rash guards to buy and
They
tournaments
need
to
to
sign
be
up
bought.
for. Yeah. Got to have money. Well, that and you got to drive.
Yeah, you
'Cause
gotta have
I'm
gas.
tired of driving you places.
Yeah,
so
they
you gotta have
drove
gas.
me. I remember when I was training, shout out to y'all for driving me to kids class and then picking me up at like 9 o'clock on Broad Street when we were training on Broad Street. Because
Yeah.
I know that, especially with how little the boys were,
Yeah.
that had to be some work.
It was, but that's what you do for your kids. You know, and,
Valid, but still.
And I trained
know.
some too, so it wasn't like
Every
I just
now and
left you
then.
up there. They gave me a blue belt. I kept going up there, and they gave me one of those blue belts. But, stuck around for a while. I was hitting it pretty hard twice or 3 times a week there for a while, and
Yeah. Okay.
but
Yeah,
it's
true
been going to Emperor City has like reignited like my love for jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Because it got to be a thing that I dreaded. And I was like, man, I don't want to go. I don't want to drive all the way across town. And it's 1,000 degrees. I'm going to get beat up a whole bunch by some college wrestler half my age. And
It just wasn't fun anymore.
well, and I had there's a lot of benefit in that. Like I'm not
Yeah.
winning a ton of rolls. Like I just don't. And that's just the way it is. But that wasn't what it was about for me for so long. And then it kind of was.
yeah.
I was like, well, this is not fun if I can't ever win. Well, like, who cares if I win? I'm not up there to win. I'm up there to get in shape and
Just
hang
have
out with
fun.
these cool dudes.
Yeah.
But switching, like changing scenery, and we went from scramble jiu-jitsu to Emperor City jiu-jitsu when our coach split off. We PJ Broom's episode a little while back. You guys can dig it up. We talked about it some there. But the change of scenery got me fired up again. That, and it's
Yes.
3 minutes from our house.
Yeah, the drive is pretty nice. My
Yeah.
work is like less than a minute
You
from
can
the gym.
throw a rock from your work and hit the gym,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet
yeah.
deal.
It's all
Because
right there.
driving across to West Rome at 5 o'clock, traffic
Yeah.
is awful.
Rome, Georgia, man. I have been to Chicago and Boston and Los Angeles and Dallas. Like some really frustrating. Atlanta is awful. Atlanta's worse than Rome. I shouldn't go there. Atlanta's far worse than Rome. Rome's worse than Los Angeles, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's not. I don't know. We sat on the 405 one time for 2 hours, but Rome's just so frustrating because of all the rivers that we have.
Yeah.
And so everything funnels into a bridge. And you got to go across the bridge. And then going out to West Rome from our side of town is tough.
It's awful.
You got to, everybody funnels into that
And they've
bridge.
been doing that construction out there
Yes,
for
out by the hospital.
like 2 years.
It's going to keep going. They're not
Yeah.
even close to finish.
They're not.
Rome City Commission, get your stuff together and fix the road.
Call out.
Yeah. They don't watch this anyway.
Whatever. Maybe someone does.
Not since Gerard Tucker made fun of their police. Anyway, yeah, but the change of scenery kind of boosted me up a little bit. And I still I'm doing really good if I can get in there twice a week just because of my schedule and stuff I got going on. But
Yeah.
2 times a week is enough.
2 times a day.
I don't know, you're in there 5:30 in the morning, 9 in the morning.
Not 5:30.
You don't do the 5:30?
No. I got to get sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to wrap up at 9-ish when you get home,
Yeah.
you take a shower and all that stuff. And I can't go to bed right after. I need a couple of hours to wind back down. So it's 11 and I'm supposed to get up at 5 and go train at 5:30.
But we've got an 11:30 to 12:30 class for free rolls right now.
That's true, but some of us have big boy jobs. It
Okay,
makes it tough
but
to go.
I'm just shouting it out because we got to get people coming to it.
For sure. There's a ladies class when?
On Wednesdays at 12:30 to 1:30.
These classes didn't exist when PJ was on.
No.
So anybody that listens to his episode is going to know that we got class at 9 and 6:30. And then
Now we've got more
5 and
classes.
5:30 for the kids. Yeah.
Grown.
So we got the lunch roll, the women's class.
And Jonathan Fogus is going to teach a games-oriented class.
Constraint, yeah.
Yeah, on Friday. I think it's either going to be at 6 o'clock or 6:30.
I forget. There was a poll on the
That's
Facebook,
what I was
but
thinking about,
what
but I
it
don't
was.
remember.
But if you look on our Facebook, it's on there. Emperor City. We're plugging this joint like we own it. We do not. I don't own any part
I
of
don't
Emperor
care if
City
I don't
Grappling
own
Club.
it. I don't own it, but I'm there all the time. I'll be mentioning any chance I get.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big part of your life. But I don't know. I've caught myself recently, like I shared yesterday, some awesome stuff that some folks from our church had done. Because I looked at my last 3 posts and it was like jiu-jitsu, Brandon Mitchell's purple belt, which is great. Like share your homies' wins. But then I was like, we should be doing this for our church people too. Like
True.
some guy starts a business in your church. Give him a plug. These 2 people, Lori Ogden and Emily Justice, graduated from nursing school. Like, go y'all.
Hit them up.
Yeah, it's got to be just as big. But I don't know. Maybe we missed the ball, missed the boat. Yeah, missed the boat. That's the expression. With our church stuff, because we don't hype it up like we do
Yeah.
our gym. Like nobody's fired up about whatever athletic club they go to and lift weights. Like they like it and that's cool, but it's not the same as martial arts.
No, it's not.
That bond that you have. But so it's easy for us to, gas each other up and be like, yeah, that's my dude. But we should be that way with the church too. This is, I don't know, rabbit trail of my own, I guess. But yeah. The idea holds though across the board. I was in a conversation with somebody about this, and
Sorry.
are we back to the
Yes. Sorry.
Back to the ASMR.
160 milligrams of caffeine?
It's not even that much today. I normally drink like 345.
Taking a slow day on a Sunday,
Yeah. It's my rest day.
so half the caffeine. God bless us, man. So how did your last tournament go?
Not well. I got a concussion.
Yeah.
I I was really strong in the beginning of the match, had her in a lot of danger, a lot of submissions.
Yeah.
And then I think she was trying to step over my arm bar. She stacked me, and I spun under to finish it, and I got into a Troy bar arm saddle. And
You have to Google all this stuff if you're not a jiu-jitsu person.
yeah. And I think she was trying to, honestly, in the video, it doesn't even look like she's trying to step over me. I don't know what she was doing, but she kneed me in the head pretty darn hard.
Yeah.
And I got out of the match. She got top mount, and I was just like,
You were done.
I was
dead
done.
At one point.
Randy was coaching me, and he was like, hey, you got to give me a sign you're okay. And I was like,
Yeah, he gave us the thumbs up, but it was not a very strong one.
I was so done. And at the time, I was like, when I got done with that match, I went and hid behind the podium because I was so upset with myself. I was really dizzy, really fatigued, and I was really mad at myself that day. But what I didn't know is I was concussed.
Yeah.
And that probably explained a lot of why, after I got that knee to the head, why I was so fatigued the rest of the match. And even in my second match,
Yeah, and
I couldn't even get going.
I felt terrible about the second because I didn't think about it. I didn't think about at the time that you might have a concussion. You lost and you were kind of cranky, but you are a pretty intense competitor.
Yeah.
So you're cranky after you lose.
I don't like losing.
And
I'm pretty chippy the
don't.
week before, too.
But then you just went out in your second match and noodled.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even show up. And that was uncharacteristic. Because when you can lose and bounce back and win again, like you've done that before, but you didn't. And I look back at it now and I was like, well, it's because you had a concussion. It wasn't
because I wasn't trying.
Yeah, it wasn't because you were pouty. That girl was really good, and she might have just beaten you anyway.
She was really good.
Yeah.
She was really, both of them were super, super strong.
Yeah. They were 15 pounds bigger than you. You signed up for the wrong weight division. Don't do that again. I'm signing you up from now on. You point to the tournaments you want to go to, and I'll put you in the right division.
Okay.
Yeah. But, that was the first time looking at your smooth comp, which is where in jiu-jitsu people you can look and see. That's where you sign up for matches and see your overall record and things like that. That was the first time you've lost.
In a long time.
It's the first time you've lost 2 matches in the same day since your first tournament.
Yeah.
So 4 years later, you started training in October and you competed in January of 21. And that was the last time you lost 2 matches in the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years. That's crazy.
Not
4
bad,
years.
Right? 4 years. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. You've done a bunch of winning since then. You just Saturday was not your day.
No, it's not my day, man.
It was just not.
Got walked.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're okay with it now.
Well, I was pretty upset. I get onto myself pretty hard when I lose.
Yeah.
Or when something happens and it doesn't go how I think it should.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hard on myself about that type of stuff. And the second match, I went back and I cried behind the podium.
Yeah.
I was panic attack crying because I wanted to go hard and push through, but I physically couldn't.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Ash, Brandon Mitchell's girlfriend, the day he got his purple belt. Mm-hmm. And she was like, girl, don't give me no crap about you doing bad. You had a concussion. And that made me feel a lot better because it was kind of not justified. I'm not making an excuse, but it's justified in a way because I had a concussion. I could not. Yeah. I mean, I could have.
There's a difference in excuses and explanations, right?
Yeah, But I literally had a concussion and could not get myself going again.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time. So now that I know, it's
your dad
takes
a
lot
looking out for you.
Yeah, for real, Dad. It takes a lot of pressure off of me being well, you need to do better and you suck because you lost. Because I normally am like that.
Yeah.
I don't. But now that comes out that I had a concussion, it's oh, okay.
Yeah, an actual brain injury, which is we've had to sit on you since then.
Yeah.
Because you're I think I'm okay to train now. And it was a couple of days later, I had to take you to the ER because you had this violent headache and you were going to throw up and whatever.
Yeah. I don't like to take time off training when I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Even, period.
But it's like I told you, you can like you hurt your ankle and you can limp on it. Like, oh, you damaged your ankle beyond repair permanently. And you limp the rest of your life.
Fix your brain.
Yeah, you can't limp on your brain.
Yeah, you can't fix it.
And I'm old enough that you played the second half of the football game because it was just a concussion. You know, they used to tell us that. Like,
that's crazy.
You get like rung in the first half of a football game, and they're like, "Well, sit out." They call it, shaking off the cobwebs.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, it's just a concussion. You can go back in."
No.
Like, no, that's you need to sit out for like weeks. And then we went back and got hit in the head 37 more times in the second half of the
That's
game.
how you get brain damage.
Yes, yes, exactly how. And like, it was the point where people were afraid to mention they had a concussion once we started finding out that it was bad for you.
So they could keep playing?
Yeah, they would just be like, I think I'm concussed, but if I say something, they're going to make me sit out or think I'm a sissy or like whatever. So you just keep taking a beating. Yeah, make yourself comfortable.
These chairs are really sticky.
Well, it's
They're not sticky. They're just
leather. They're really nice.
Yeah, they are really nice. I just have shorts on, and it's like peeling a sticker off me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sorry.
You good?
Yeah.
Nice and comfy?
Yep.
Can we get you some orange juice or cookies or anything? Like
A chocolate chip cookie.
chocolate chip cookies? Yeah, any chocolate chip cookies?
I think I got some.
Don't go get her cookies.
Please go get me.
No, there are not enough people that will tell her no, and that's 95% of her problems, which has become my problems. People in her life won't tell her no.
Yeah, they will.
Who? Name one.
PJ. He got on to he got on to he's like, so that one night we were all up there really late and you called me and I was kind of giving you some backsass. He said, Ayla, don't you talk to him like that.
I've got to call him a lot of times and be like, hey, tell Ayla no. Like you're gonna ask, I'm gonna ask PJ for something wild, and I'm like, hey, just tell her no before. Like I know about it before he does.
Whatever. Well,
so I just head it off at the pass, and I'm like, tell her no.
He was like, he said, don't you backsass him.
That's right. He knows.
He knows. He told me no the other day when we were drilling because I was like, I want to drill, and he's like, no, Ayla, you cannot.
Yeah, your squash is still messed up.
He'll be getting on. He'd be getting on to me.
Yeah. Because he loves you. But that's a new thing, though. That's a recent thing. He hadn't always told you no.
Yeah, he has.
He just always been like, yeah, whatever.
Nah.
Yeah, you turd.
One time when we were on Broad Street, I remember this. This was the best. We were drilling, and I think someone was getting their belt that night. PJ wasn't teaching, but he was still there.
Yeah.
I was so hungry. PJ went to Giggity's and got chicken fingers and fries.
Yeah, see?
And he sat right in front of me with these chicken fingers and fries. I was drilling, in the middle of drilling with somebody. I was like, hey, can I have one of them fries? And he was like, no. I said, please? And he said, all right, fine. And he said, I wouldn't do that for anybody else, though.
Oh, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't give me one of his French fries.
And then there was another time, right before we ended up splitting, I asked if I could have a drink of his drink. He was like, yeah. And then like 2 minutes later, Matthew Boyles asked, and he was like, no, B-word, go get your own drink.
Oh, my gosh. He loves Matthew.
He loves Matthew, though. He loves Matthew. But I just think it's funny.
It is funny. You have like girl privilege at the gym, though. I think
Just
it's
a little bit.
A little different.
Just a little bit. I do have a little bit of...
Yeah, we've all raised you now.
I know.
Like everybody, these people have all been there like during your most formative years or whatever, and they've seen you growing up. Most of them still like you.
Most of them. Most of these people.
Yeah. So
Hopefully.
What's next? Are you going to bounce back from these losses and this concussion? You're taking a little time off, but what's next for you in jiu-jitsu?
We're going to hit the ADCC trials this year in Orlando. They are, I think it was November 15th through the 16th.
Is that I knew it was November. I'm pretty sure it's November.
I think it's the 15th and the 16th.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to go to those. I'm going to finish healing up. I'm going to try to do maybe 2 tournaments in between then in maybe the advanced division and do the intermediate at ADCC.
Yeah.
So that like I can really see where I am in the advanced division.
You're talking advanced division in like a Naga or New Breed or something like that.
Maybe
HCI?
a ADCC Open, but in my weight class.
Yeah.
That way, or like a AGF, something like that. That way I can really push it before I go to trials.
Yeah. Well, I don't think skill-wise you were super outmatched. They were way bigger and stronger than you, and especially once you were concussed, it was tough to even tell how you would have stacked up.
Yeah.
But you're pretty good.
Just got to get in the right weight class.
Yes.
Start.
Yes, you do.
Doing that.
The 130-pound class, not the 145-pound class.
It was 133 to 143, and I was 135.
Yeah, you were on the bottom end. They had the day before weigh-ins, so if anybody cut 3 pounds, they were 148, and you were 133.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
no
think
more
about
of that. Yeah. Right. Those are the things that Dad thinks about. That's why I sign you up for your tournaments. Anywho, so trials in November. And that'll be, the ADCC is a big deal.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happens if you win trials, but I know you go to like some big tournament.
A bigger tournament.
An even bigger tournament.
It's a qualifier for a bigger tournament. Yeah.
So that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I don't expect to win. I expect it to be really hard matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could place maybe, but I don't expect to win.
Well, we were talking a minute ago about how you had that confidence, though, right? And you were gonna.
I mean, yeah, but these people are like, these are like the best of the best. You know what I mean? Now, like I do, because me and PJ were talking about it. A lot of people don't go to trials and win their first one.
Yeah.
Because that's the general rule.
Right.
There are exceptions to the rule. Do I think I'm the exception to the rule? Yes. But I'm trying to sound not like a...
You're trying to be humble.
Yeah. Now, I will come out and say that, do I think I'm able to beat those girls and get first place the first time I go to trials? Yes.
Yeah.
Like I do. I work my tail off an insane amount. And I roll with... I literally don't... We have like... Shout out Kelsey, shout out Meg, and shout out Allison and Carson and Hannah, because that's all the girls we have in our gym. And besides that, I'm rolling with dudes all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, I think I just have more grit than those girls that are going to be out there to do it. But back on a humble note, I think that I'm trying to keep in the mindset of it's going to be okay if I do lose, because that's the general rule.
Right. Yeah. Well,
expecting the worst, but still having enough confidence to think that I can do it.
Yeah. Well, you think about what it is, right? You're trying to hurt people with your hands, like hurt people who are skilled at hurting people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a fight.
They're pretty good too.
It's not a fight, but
it's that
again,
violent interaction.
PJ talked about it. I'm gonna go out there and, especially like you said, these girls are also skilled like me.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to have to fight for every submission, every point, everything that I get. Like, I'm going to have to fight for that. And it's going to be gnarly.
Yeah.
And that just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, I never, we were talking about this before we went live. I never have said I wish I had a boy. But, you check some boy boxes, I think, and that's good enough. We got your brothers, so there's that.
Y'all got two other boys, so calm down.
Yeah. Wild men. Anything else? What are we going to talk about? We got to get out of here before long.
I'm driving.
She's very excited about the possibility of driving a 2005 Mustang.
I'm driving it. They can't stop me.
I'm afraid you can't reach the pedals.
He said I can move the seat up.
But you're miniature anyway.
That is no.
We'll find out. Anyways, anybody else you want to shout out? Anybody you want to?
Not really. All the people I talked about are really the people I love.
Yeah, covered all the bases.
That's my gang.
I got you.
Yeah.
Good enough.
For real.
Well, we're gonna jump off right here.
Whoa, don't jump off yet.
Oh, you got questions?
I got questions.
Okay.
These are questions.
Let them cook.
We haven't done trivia. I don't have.
No trivia tonight. I sprung it on you.
No. This is a great moment of seeing a father and daughter kind of have a conversation. But now I get to ask her questions about you and see what the guest is thinking, because this is. What's it like having this man as like dad? How's that influenced you in what you do?
Hold on,
let me cry. I don't want to cry. I'm not.
He is, he's very strict. I know he's strict for reasons because, you know, I be a turd sometimes, so it's okay. I was a complete like dingus not too long ago. I'm still a dingus, but I'm a lot better. I'm glad to have him help me with all this stuff because like a lot of times a lot of kids don't. And sometimes it is a lot of pressure. Like I feel a lot of pressure sometimes, but again, shout out PJ. He's talked about like in competitions, especially when you get your black belt, everybody's like, go kill him out there. Well, you're still going against a black belt who is also skilled. And so it depends on how you perform under pressure. So I could either be like, I hate you and I wish you would stop doing all this. And sometimes I get pretty mad at him. And, yeah, but we persevere through it and we have a pretty good relationship through all that because of this, I think.
Solid answers. I was going to say, we kind of share a bond here because I pretty much was raised by Danny also.
Yeah. No, Tango since he was 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny. So,
Whoa.
yeah.
Man, you're old. Sorry.
I'm old. I'm old enough to have raised a 30-year-old.
Yeah. Way to go, Danny.
Yeah.
For real, shout out Dad / Danny.
Woo.
So I can share in the sentiments. This man he sticks by himself, and what he says he's going to do, he's going to do it, but he's very particular. He knows what he wants. But he's a man of amazing personality and outstanding character.
Man. You guys are pouring it on.
We can beat him up in the post show.
Yeah,
I got you.
There you go.
I got some tea.
She's got all the stories.
Oh, all the stories.
I got stories too, sweetheart.
Yeah,
and the mic is still hot.
Okay, you want to play some hot takes real quick?
Those post show things.
Yeah,
That's extra. But no, I really appreciate you coming out, being able to kind of have this moment and kind of show a different side of Danny that we don't always get to see. We always get to see Danny, either the pastor, the coach, the guy who knows you in some way. I've known you through law enforcement. You've given me tickets, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see your view on him and see how that outlook was.
Cool beans.
Cool. Yeah. That's a different perspective. I'm glad you brought that
Yeah,
up.
for real, that's cool.
End the episode. Are you done? Is that what you got?
I'm done.
I love you guys. All right, y'all. It's been a fun episode. Ayla, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Can I mic drop?
Please don't. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
expensive, and that's so bad for the mic when you do that. We just replaced like cables and things, and let's just not. There may be an old spare around here you can drop. I don't know. Is that what you're doing? You looking for a spare?
Can I I'll just be like, and the episode ends.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, dog! Y'all are so good.
I gotta say some things.
Close out.
And then you can drop the mic. Thank you guys for watching. Wherever you're watching, listening, like, share, subscribe, whatever. Click the bell, do all the things. We're grateful for each and every one of you. You are the reason that we do this. We want to get people's stories out there and entertain you guys. And hopefully you learn something or are inspired by the guests that we have on and the stories that we tell and the gang signs that my daughter's throwing up right now. God bless you guys. We love you. See you next time.
Out.
Where we have to listen to you talking to the microphone. Why do I always put those on wrong?
I can't. I'm gonna try not to get progressively louder, but I might get progressively.
If you're gonna have to talk into the mic. So like think about
here?
talking like into a tube.
This is why the headphones are nice, because you can hear yourself.
Yeah, you can.
But it'll mess up my hair.
That's fine.
Hold on
like
a second.
you don't have to. Whatever.
Hold on.
Treat it like Roman. Tell her.
Put the headphones on.
Okay. Okay, bruh. Can I drive the Mustang?
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting that Mustang. Oh. Ooh. Ding.
So like, bend it a little bit. So the
can
mic
hear
is like
you
almost
more.
straight.
Here?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, cool beans.
Now look, you have to talk like into the top of the mic. So can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
So you can hear me when I'm here, and you can still hear me when I'm here, and you can really still hear me when I'm like here. You don't want to be this far away.
Yeah, but you want to be like
not great.
right here.
But think about it like you're talking into a tube, right?
Okay.
You can't like talk from here. It's not good. Not good over here.
Yeah.
Right into the top of the mic.
Yeah, like right here. I can do some
How much
ASMR.
caffeine have you had today?
160 milligrams.
She knows exactly. How much caffeine have you had?
3 Red Bulls.
Gosh dang, son.
3 Red Bulls.
That's insane, bro. But to be fair, I be drinking like that much on a normal basis at Three Rivers.
What is going on with?
I be wobbling it.
Yeah.
Wobble,
I mean,
baby.
I'll drink a Red Bull and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Dog, that's crazy.
I got that weird ADHD thing where like caffeine does nothing.
Caffeine calms a lot of people down with ADHD.
I think it calms me down. And it doesn't make me go to sleep, but it helps me like focus. Helps me focus. There, right there.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Man, I'm starting to regret this.
No. It'll be fine.
It'll
I got
cure
this.
out.
That was the name of my episode with Reyes was "Don't Make Me Regret This." That was the whole theme of that podcast. So you see those red numbers on top of the screen over there?
Yeah.
That means he's recording.
Oh.
Yeah. Stop. It's terrible. What are you doing?